We begin tonight with breaking news from the United States, where the FBI has arrested a suspect over the leak of classified documents connected to the war in Ukraine. Federal agents have named a 21-year-old member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard. His name, Jack Teixeira. He was arrested as armed agents began searching his home earlier today. The leaked documents allegedly reveal Western Special Forces have been operating inside Ukraine and set out U.S. spying activities. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland gave more details about the suspect's arrest.
Today, the Justice Department arrested Jack Douglas Teixeira in connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information. Teixeira is an employee of the United States Air Force National Guard. FBI agents took Teixeira into custody earlier this afternoon without incident. He will have an initial appearance at the U.S. District Court for the District of Massachusetts. I want to thank the FBI, Justice Department prosecutors, and our colleagues at the Department of Defense for their diligent work on this case. This investigation is ongoing. We will share more information at the appropriate time. Thanks, everyone.
All right, I want to go now to our Washington, D.C. studio. My colleague, Amien Esif, he's been following this story for us. I mean, what more do we know about this suspect who is now in custody?
Well, as you pointed out, Brent, he's very young, 21 years old. He is a member of the Air National Guard of Massachusetts. This is a branch of the Air Force, a reservist branch, and he was part of the intelligence wing there. So that's why he had access, allegedly, to classified documents. Now, he was also, in his private life, the kind of leader of an online gaming chat room that was full of members of younger men than him, if you can believe it, teenagers, many of them, who shared right-wing political leanings, a love of guns, Christianity. So this was definitely on the right side of the political spectrum. And he leaked the documents there. Allegedly, and the New York Times and the Washington Post spoke to members of that group who called him something of a father figure, and they made it very clear that he did not see himself as a whistleblower. These documents were meant to impress them, were meant to enlighten them about world affairs, but they were not meant to leave their small corner of the internet, as they put it.
Yeah, well, that is indeed not the case. Well, that's not what happened, apparently. We know that a lot has been discovered already by U.S. media. What about federal investigators in the U.S.? I mean, what have they said about this case?
He's been charged with the unauthorized leaking of classified material. That could carry a 10-year sentence for each of the charges, and we're talking about dozens of documents here that they will be charging him for. Now, what they haven't said is how he did this. That's what they're going to be investigating. The Department of Defense did say that a lot of this is based on trust. If you do background checks and you gain trust in this person, once they access classified documents, there's not that much you can do to prevent them from taking this out. Now, of course, he had photos of this. He could have also just told people, so there is no foolproof method. But if we're talking about the photos here, it's interesting how such a low-ranking member was able to smuggle out photographs of printed documents. Now, of course, that's going to leave a paper trail if he was the one who printed it out at his workplace. Those printers will trace it back to him. But of course, that's only after the fact. That doesn't prevent him from leaking those documents. So there's a lot to be investigated here, Brent.
And what about the fallout from all of this? I mean, is it possible right now to measure the fallout and possibly measure the damage that has been done to U.S. intelligence gathering?
That's the biggest question, all of this. Every time there's a major leak like this, one wonders what is going to come out of it. And we don't know if we've seen the end of these leaked documents, because they've been circulating online for months, and they've only surfaced because of wider attention from the media. Now, it has exposed a lot of, it has exposed weaknesses in the Ukrainian military, which would be useful for Russia. It has exposed U.S. spying on allies, including overhearing conversations of Ukrainian officials without their permission. It's exposed South Korea and Israel is struggling to decide whether or not they want to send more weapons to Ukraine. But all of this does not come as a big surprise to those who have been following these stories closely, just more a confirmation of pre-existing suspicions.
DW's Amian Esif with the latest from Washington. Amian, as always, thank you.